Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily and I'm here for my weekly cross stitch update, second floss tube of the year. It is actually the 16th. I didn't get the opportunity to record yesterday. I've just come off two early shifts, which is 5 till 2, and yesterday I went to my parents, waited for Austin to finish school, picked up Austin, went and picked up Flora from her school, and then came home. And so Flora then had to get ready and go to work, so we were in a bit of a fluster and the light was gone. By the time I got home it was dark, and I do really like to record these in natural light if I most possibly can. We're currently on 2-knuckle warning for the sun, so we may or may not get this in before it actually gets dark. The sun is below the houses now, so we'll see how much we can get done before the light actually goes. Hopefully more than I'm hoping. So I've just done all my numbers. My book is here. I am keeping up with my book. This is now presently on the 16th of January, the second longest I've ever kept a journal in my grown-up time. I used to journal when I was a teenager. Since being I'm 50 next year. Now we're in the new year, I can say I'm 50 next year. I'm still 48. But I have kept up. I am on, as you can see, look here. This is today. I've not filled in today's yet. That page is my stitchy page. And my life page, I am doing a week's review on my life page. And I'm keeping up with that. Doesn't mean I'm accomplishing the goals I'm writing a list of goals every week. Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm actually doing them properly and completely, but the hope is there. Anyway, stitching wise, I think I'm doing really well. So I'm going to crack on and show you some stitching. Well, I'm going to tell you some things. Since the last time so currently I'm going to give you the figures between the 8th and the 14th. The 8th and the 14th. So the second week of January here. I managed second week 7,034 stitches, so I'm averaging 1,000 stitches a day. Admittedly, I added up my stitches, very tired on the evening of the 14th, and as you can see here, I put in another strand into the treasure hunt bookshelf because I was going to be 6,970 or something, and I was like, no, I can do better than that. And I threaded my needle and I put in another, I went from 58 to 120 stitches, and then I called it a day. So I did 7,034 stitches last week, which for the month brings me up to 15,022 stitches so far in the first 14 days of January. So I'm on course for really good numbers, really. I hoped I could do it. I thought, actually, I've not counted properly, so I wasn't sure what I kind of did. I know if I'm off work, I can get a good 2,000 stitches in. I haven't done 2,000 stitches in any one day yet this month. On the 10th, I did 1,866, so that's the closest I've been. So I've got a lot of life going on as well. I don't just get to sit and stitch when I'm not at work. I wish I could, but you know, other things happen, don't they? Right guys, stitching. I have completed my first whip go goal. Last week I put in a total of 1,784 stitches, and I didn't put it on Instagram, into Everything is Better with a Little Magic. I also backstitched it. Here is it. It is finished, completed. Isn't it marvellous? There's a couple of mistakes, but that's how I roll. But it is finished. Look at it. So basically I did sort of that bit, most of that bit, and finished it all off. I did the backstitch. What I thought were little skulls turned out to be little spiders. And these little stars, oh, I started to do this backstitch and I was like, bored, don't want to do it, oh, it's rubbish, And I did it, and I'm so pleased with it. It's so pretty, and the little stars just set it off. It's so cool. I absolutely love it, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. And whip go, goal complete. I haven't got my tree downstairs, it's still upstairs from my whip parade. I will bring it downstairs next week and I will fill it. Hopefully by next week I will have another goal and then I can do a giveaway. But everything is better with a little magic. It's finished. So that was in number 11. My other number 11 project is the sea beacon, which is I'm doing a peekaboo. So it's a little snapshot out of an enormous full-size Haid of the sea beacon. The last time I filmed it looked like this. Since then, I've only put in 608 stitches, but I think it makes a difference. It's now sitting at 32.03%, and I've filled in this top bit of 939, and I've filled in quite a bit here of the 3809 that was up there just sitting idle. So I filled in, and then I've put in some other colours here. I am going to start her skin. I'm still got a way to go to meet my goal. I've got about another 1,300 stitches to put into this to meet my Whipco goal, which was 4,000 stitches, and she's currently sitting at about 2,700. So we're doing okay, but I've still got some more stitching to put into her, and I would like to start some skin colour, and I'll start right at the top here. I just need to put in a couple more colours into this little peaky bit here of her hair, and then I'll be into some skin. I mean, I could do all of this first, but I'm just going to do some skin. So she's sitting at 32%, so I'm very happy there, and I'm going to carry on with her. So that's the other number 11 project. And then the number 20 project, that were the two calls for January, we've got the Cross Stitch Studios, The Better to See You With. And the last time I recorded, she looked like this, and I'd stitched down the whole way down the fabric from the Nowheresville up in the corner, up in Boring Land, down to find red. And I found red, and since then I've put in 1,359 stitches, and now she looks like this. So you can see, and she is that big. So that's how big she is on the piece, considering the fabric is like a meter, over a meter long, 1.2 I think the fabric is. But there is red. I bought the 815 and then of course found my 815, as I knew I would. It was on the table, totally not where any of my DMC should have been, and it was just a random bobbin. Found my 815, but there wasn't a lot left on it, so by the time I've put in the however many couple of thousand stitches of it, it would have been nearly gone anyway. So I've got a new skein of that, and I bought the other two reds that her cloak are mostly made up of. It being the Cross Stitch Studio, of course, there is unbelievable amounts of confetti. So, but the finished product's so outstanding. And my weekly goal was to a grid. Was it this week or last week? Yes, it was last week. Was to grid to the middle to the bottom. So I've gridded to the middle to the bottom. I've worked in all the threads that way. So she's gridded horizontally there, and then that way I've still got the threads dangling, and she's gridded vertically from the bottom to 11-12 inches, and then I've got those to grid in. When I finish my goal stitching on this, which is 4,500 stitches, and I've got 2,000 stitches to go, when I finish my goal stitches, I will stitch in all these filament, all this Gutermann filament, just so that I don't have I don't have this going on. I'll stitch it all in, and any other ones that are just dangling, I'll get it all stitched in. And by, eventually, it will be fully gridded. But for right now, I need this bit here gridded, and it is, and I'm happy. So that was one of my weekly goals in my life page. So I consider that goal met, because I did grid to the bottom to the middle. Didn't say anything about stitching all the rest of it in. So she's doing really well, and I'm going to get to her. I might stitch on her tomorrow morning, I think. I'm on a late. So I've gone 2 earlies, and then I've got 2 lates. So it's like a longer part of the day off because I don't start work now until 2 o'clock tomorrow. So I finished at 2 o'clock and I've got like 24 hours off, which is weird, but it's not a day off. I'm working both days. It's just separate. I finish at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I start tomorrow at 2 o'clock and work through till 10, which gives me the whole morning here in the conservatory with the light so I can stitch on things I want to stitch on. I'm going to split my stitching tomorrow, actually. I know exactly what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. And then I've got the same thing on Saturday. So I'll do the same again on Saturday. And then from Sunday, I'm off. And I'll talk about next week's plans at the end. So better to see you with. Trucking along, 1,359 stitches. This is now sitting at 1.89%. Bear in mind there's stitching and some amount in this corner. That's 1.89%, which isn't much. Okay, so then my other project for number 20, which I have pulled out now because I finished an Emma Congdon piece. It just so happened that the other navy blue Emma Congdon piece was also called for this month. You're All Kinds of Amazing, I think it is called. Yes, All Kinds of Amazing. And I bought this in Cross Stitcher February 2021. And it looks like this. I'm doing like a pale anchor conversion, which it was when I didn't really know about stitching terribly much, and I didn't understand about Emma Congdon and that you totally trust her colours, and that's all you ever need to do is just do it as charted, do it on the fabric she suggests, and just it's wonderful. I still thought, you know, I was going to do it myself because I didn't own a lot of DMC, and I did own quite a lot of random anchor threads, so I kind of kitted it using a more muted palette. And I'm very, very happy that I didn't start with the tigers because I'm looking forward to the tigers very much. When I pulled it out to stitch on it, it looked like this. And now, currently today, after 872 stitches, it looks like this. I need something behind it immediately. It now looks like this. So as you can see, it's quite pale. It's muted. It's not pale, it's muted, and it's on a funny dark blue fabric. It's kind of navy, but again, it's got that mutedy grey tone to it that I dyed myself. And it looks like this. So what I've got left to do is a flower here to match this one, the other leaves, and then Amazing is going to be an ecru, and then the tigers, and then there's flowers in the middle. So I actually have saved the tigers till last, and I'm thrilled that I have because I can't wait to stitch them. And this fabric is 40 count even weave. It is absolutely hard as can you see. It's super even, but it is so hard to see the holes, and because it's even weave, I rely on clicking. And on Bestitch Me fabrics, I can totally do that. I can click with my needle underneath to find where I'm coming back up. I sort of do this. I go, and then I can count my threads. This one, I really struggle to do it, so I need a really good natural light. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to split my time between this, and I'm going to try and get a good chunk of stitching into both of them. So that's coming along. So next week you should have both, hopefully, tigers finished. And my aim for my floss tubes is to post as near to the day after the 7 days. So I should have posted yesterday, but that doesn't mean I'm now going to wait 7 days. It means I'm going to try and post up on, what's it going to be, the 22nd rather than the 23rd or the 24th. I'm going to try and keep it so I've got a whole week stitching to show you each time. Okay, so that's my 4 whip go pieces, and then I've got some other pieces to show you So I have got a finished for now, and my finished for now is, all folded up, is my Mill Hill piece. So I worked on it in Flossmas, and I decided that, well, Sue decided for me, so I'm going to get all the cross stitch finished on one of my Mill Hill kits every month. And I started with the first one I started, which was the train depot, and after 653 stitches the train depot is ready for beads. There's a lot of beads going in these, they still look a bit sparse, but this one here is ready for beads and backstitch. But there we go, so that's that one. This month is ready for backstitch and beads. So next month I'm either going to go up and do the fire station, or I'm going to come across to the second one to the other one that was already started before Flossmas, which is the Daily News, which is here. Daily News is going to need a lot more stitching in it, so I think I'll wait until my whip go calls, and if they're really heavy duty whip go calls, you know, with massive great targets, and some of them have enormous targets, I might do an easier one, so I've got less stitching to do, because I obviously did quite a lot of the fire station. And if my whip go goals feel really doable, I might tackle one of the ones that needs a little bit more stitching in it. These two, see, this is the one I had to frog out. These two require quite a lot of stitching, but you see the cathedral next to it. See, that one there's got quite a lot done, and the cathedral's got quite a lot done, because a lot of the cathedral is beads. The cathedral is very, very bead heavy. So the ones that are very bead heavy don't have a lot of cross stitch in them anyway. But train depot is ready for beads, so that's another thing ready to go for next month. It's right at the back of my whip basket, and then we've got all kinds of amazings in. I've got a completely spare bag at the moment. It has no job on the go, but I'm going to put it back in, because you never know when I'm going to need one for taking odd bits to work and things like that. Okay, two more pieces to show you. I'm going to pop those two back in the basket. I'm going to show you my treasure hunt bookshelf, and I have indeed stitched on it every day this year. Not today, but I will stitch on it today. And I've loosened my grip on my goal of 1% a month in favour of that Sid jumping down and Nancy hissing at him, in case you heard that. They are siblings, they've lived together for 12 years. And when she's grumpy, she's grumpy. She just walked up to him, she's half his size, went meow, and flicked him on the face. To which he goes, oh, stop it. This means Nancy needs to go outside to the toilet, and she hates going outside in the winter, so she's cross. She knows she needs to go. She can use the cat flap. But you know what? She won't go. Anyway, so treasure hunt bookshelf, last time I filmed looked like this. I think I have only used black and possibly one green since then. I pulled 934, but I don't know if I've used it yet. There's a lot of stitches under this fox. So now I've stitched on it this much, this week, 1,318 stitches in last week, and I did 116 yesterday, so it's currently sitting at 31.07. So I'm 0.07 into December stitching, and we're halfway through January, so you can see I've let go of my goal, but I'm just going to stitch on it every day. So with 1,300 and odd stitches into it, it now looks like this. So as you can see, I'm chunking into all this black here, and that's just fabric behind. I've pulled it up to try and, hello Sid. Sid's just arrived here. You can see the tops of his ears. He's just arrived here. There he is. Oh, he's a massive cat. Sorry, that wasn't very gamely, was it? He's trying to sit with me now because he's not a lap cat. He's trying to sit right next to me because I've got the radiator literally pushed between my feet. Hello, darling. But I'm going to change out. I've got a little bit of black. I've still got to fill in these 2 blocks here of black, and then I'm going to switch out and sort of stay in this band here for now and see what turns up. Don't stand on that. Standing on the project bag, which I'm giving away in a minute. So yeah, so I'm getting on, and I'm enjoying it again, just stitching on it, a thread, 2 threads, however much I'm feeling like. That's 939, that's Sea Beacon. Tuck that into Sea Beacon. I just threaded the needle ready. Okay, so I'm happy that I'm stitching on it every day. Now my last piece to show you is the Cross Stitch Studio mystery stitch along. So we got, the first piece came out on the 31st of December, so I started it. So technically I've still not started anything new this year. And the second page came out yesterday, so I did what I said I was going to do. I stopped stitching on page 1 and I started stitching on page 2. So page 1 has got 1256 stitches into it altogether and sits at 31.4%, and page 2, literally I stitched on it yesterday, is at 376 stitches, which is 9.4%. So I'm going to show you where I am. So here's where I am. So here is page 1 there, and here is page 2. So basically I'm picking a colour in the corner and then putting it throughout the piece, and the orange just turned up. I just wanted to put in something bold because all the colours I've used so far have been the palest yellows, and every now and again I get a brighter yellow, and then you go into buff and that. And I didn't get to any of the background, which is all navy, which is all blues. Sits right on my knees because I'm on the warm. So, but what I did was I put them into my pattern keeper, and I'm going to put a screenshot up for you, because when I load them into pattern keeper, I can use the mock-up as the thumbnail on pattern keeper. So I've done that because I don't want to accidentally pull up the wrong, because I'm going to have 12 months, possibly 20 pieces of this pattern, and each piece is an independent pattern. You know, each page is a separate file. So I don't want to get myself in a horrible muddle. So here's a little screenshot of what page 1 and page 2 look like as a mock-up, because that's what it's looking like on my pattern keeper. So yeah, it's only a mystery until I put it into pattern keeper and it colours up, because then I can see what I've got. But it's like one of those slide puzzles. You just get one little picture at a time, which is kind of fun. But I don't want to get in a muddle, so I've renamed them. Instead of like having a long file name, I've called it page 1 and page 2. So each time I get a new release, maybe when I go on to the second line down, I'll rename them top 1, top 2, and then middle 1, middle 2. Just so I know which page I'm on, and I can open, because I'll know very quickly if I'm right or wrong, but I don't want to even have the potential of getting muddled. So it's looking really pretty. I'm super pleased with it so far. I still haven't quite finished putting all my threads onto floss drops. Not quite. I'm really close, but obviously stitching took over, and I've been putting them as I've been using them. It's only the 3000s that aren't, but as I've been using them, I've been putting them on floss drops. So, right, that's the pattern for that. Put that with that. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep things together so that it's easier for me when I come to actually do some sewing. So I've told you all my numbers. Again, 7,000 stitches last week. I did have to do some extras to make it 7,000. So the only thing I think I've got left now is to give away the bag, the leftover project bag from my whip parade that I offered up as a giveaway. I didn't give it away last week because I was still getting comments on my whip parade. I haven't had a comment now on my whip parade for I think 4 days, so I'm happy to give that away. I have already done my spin, my random YouTube, it feels like a spin, which I'm going to put up here. And thank you all for your comments. I had like I think there was like 120 comments, and it turns out 100 of them had the word cat in it. And as you can see, the winner has come out as the elephant stitcher. And that's really lovely. I don't think our paths have crossed. If you want to send me a message on Instagram or email me to my Outlook account, very carefully, Crafty with an IE, they bounce back very quickly if they don't come through, is what I've learnt. This teal and purple with the very pretty zip project bag is yours. So please contact me so I can eventually post that out to you. I'm going to really make an effort. If not in the next couple of mornings, I've got time in the mornings to do things. It's just when I'm on an early, by the time I get home, the shops are shut, it's all a bit ugh. So it just is what it is. So that's I'm just going to make much more of an effort to get the last few things out. Needle minders of the month, I'm going to finish them today as soon as the light has gone. I'm going to go through and put the light on and finish them off. As soon as they're out of the oven, it's another polymer clay one, as soon as they are out of the oven and I know they're good, I will send invoices. So let's Lizzie just come down. I haven't seen her since I got home. So so they might be tonight, or it might be tomorrow. But as soon as I'm happy that they've come out of the oven okay, I'll send out invoices. Yeah, so that's Needle Minder of the month, and I hope everyone who joined will get an invoice, and the people who've unjoined, if I do send you an invoice by mistake, I'm really sorry. Just ignore it and don't pay it. If you are in my Needle Minder of the Month club and you don't want to do it this month, just don't pay the invoice. That's absolutely fine. Okay, right. That's about everything for now, guys. I'm going to get on, do a bit of stitching, go and see my Lizzie and do a bit of stitching before the light in here goes. So I'm glad the light is, you can see the light's completely changed and we're just about to get dark. And I will see you hopefully only in 6 days. I'm going to really try next week. Next week might be difficult because I'm taking Lizzie back. I'm off work for the week, so I've got 2 lates, 2 10s today and tomorrow and Saturday, and then I'm off from Sunday through to the following Sunday. So I think I've got 8 days off. I might have 9 days off. I've picked up a shift in the following week, though somebody left, just didn't come to work and has left. So their shifts have been divvied out, which is good because our hours were a bit low. So I've picked up a shift right at the end when I'm kind of due back to work. So that's good, but I am taking Lizzie back to London and I'll be staying and coming back the next day. So 2 days I'm not going to get so much stitching done, which is absolutely fine. I can make it good the rest of the days. And if that falls on a day I'm meant to be recording, I'll obviously do it the following day. So I'm not too sure where I am on all of that. I think I should be making my video on the Wednesday. And I think that's the day I'm coming back up. So we'll see how I do. It might be Thursday morning. Anyway, I will see you for sure definitely next week. Hopefully with a couple more finished Whip Go goals. I'll bring my tree down so I can do me put my money in and start my little saving tree. And if I get my other goal done, then we'll do the giveaway that's in the drawer. We'll see how we do. Right guys, I will see you next week. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.